Munchy, what we tell him?
I hear me, Miss Munchy.
People that lack with Munchy.
Miss Munch, are you run the thing, so watch out now.
You know me, I say Munchy.
Yell up Munchy. Wha Gwaan Munchy.
Reggaeville family, this is another episode of Wha Gwaan Munchy coming to you straight from Kingston, Jamaica. And I'm very happy to have a brethren here from Auguston, from Kingston, with extremely wonderful new music. Duane Stephenson is here. How are you, sir, this morning?
I am great, just glad to be here with you once again, man. It's been a while. We've been sitting like this, so it's about time, man.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you came. Thanks for making your way. And I said it already, you have wonderful new music. You have an album coming up, yes. Exile To Dreadites. That's the title. It's coming up on March 27th, so look out for it. Please tell me a little bit about the title. What inspired that?
Well, anyone who knows me know that most of the stuff that I do will always refer a little to places and, landmarks in Auguston. Dreadites is one of those places. Dreadites was the original settlement of course, the Rastas back in the day when they were persecuted, So they kind of, just for strength and cohesiveness, they located to the north side pretty much of Auguston, and that area is called Dreadites along the banks of the Hope River,
okay.
So you find that the album now is referring to, music that represent what Rasta represent, being now exile once again to Dreadites, because of course, it's kind of hard for you don't really get playing on the radio, and you say certain things, whether it's true or not, you get persecuted for really, speaking truth in the purest form, so that's basically the root of it, and that's where the music stems from.
So what Duane Stephenson is talking about on his album, that is one of the things that we're going to talk about in just a few seconds from now. Exile To Dreadites, that's the album that is coming up from this gentleman right here. Of course, there are other records that I also would like to highlight on this one. On March 1st, Norrisman put out Time. On March 8th, just a week later, Rocky Dawuni, he's from Ghana, he put out Beats of Zion. And then there's a project that is coming up, which I think is extremely interesting. That is the final battle between Sly and Robbie and Roots Radics. Flabberhold, big up yourself, man. Plus a huge lineup of great vocalists on that. So we have a little snippet of that we can enjoy right now. That is the final battle of Sly and Robbie versus Flabberhold and the original Roots Radics. So that is coming up on April 15th. So look out for this very, very, very interesting musical battle. And speaking of new records, I mentioned it already, Duane Stephenson is here with me and he has his album coming up, Exile To Dreadites. You said you touched a topic already a little bit about the message on the album. It is musically is very rich. You have horns, you have all the live instruments played, sweet reggae music, really timeless, very organic, I'd say. And additionally to that, I really appreciated the message because you sing a lot about love, you preach love, you sing explicitly against racism. That in times where we have a lot of division, where we have a lot of war going on globally, we have as many refugees, people fleeing countries as we never had before. Was that something you felt like, okay, in times like this is necessary, or what inspired your songs?
I think my music is always inspired by the time that I'm in, when I released from Auguston all those years ago, it's because of what was happening in and around me. It was a little bit more close-knit. But as the years go by, I spread it a little bit broader. And I think the messages on Exile To Dreadites are messages that are very relevant to what's happening now. Unfortunately, there's people jockeying for power after all these years, you would know that, you know, power leads to destruction. I don't know why people still running down power. We can all live with balance instead. You know what I mean? So the music is really as songs of hope. That's what I'm interested in. Of course, you're pointing this stuff out, but it makes no sense just doing that unless you have a message of hope to linger on. And that's what I'm trying to do with this album, Exile To Dreadites, a message of hope and music of the time.
And we said it already, you're from Augustown, and I find it especially interesting with that background coming from Augustown, which is more a rougher area of Kingston. You could have at the same time, could have done music about guns and being a bad man and what have you. What had you keep up the positive spirit that you're also displaying in your music?
I think it's because it's necessary. I mean, people need to see, have positive influences. I don't think there is enough. You know what I mean? So the fact that I can provide at least one to look to, I really relish that, I love the fact that I can still walk anywhere in the community and it's all respect and it's all good, you know what I mean? Because I think respect ultimately is much more powerful than fear. People like to eliminate fear, so why get involved in stuff like that? It's crazy, I mean? I've seen generations and generations of young men dying out, so the least I can do is provide at least one element of positive movements for the community and, of course, definitely for the wider world, but it starts right in the community. I'm going to start in backyard, and that's what I've done throughout these years, and the music represents that, and it is what I am.
And speaking of your community, you hail from there and you still live there up until now. Tell me a little bit about Augustown. How is it like?
Well, I mean, Augustown is really a working class community. The truth is that most of the people there are still working class people that get up and head out to work in the morning. Saturdays or Sundays, there's always church day. Unfortunately, there's not so much kids playing in the streets anymore because, them boys play a gun war instead, which is, as I mentioned, the sad reality of what it has become, I don't think the government really have a hold on crime as it should, but then again, the government was part of the problem back in the days. Nowadays, they might be trying to move away from that, but too little, too late. So we all have the work to do to try and bring back the community. But Augustown is still mainly a working class community. And it's unfortunate that, even recently a friend of mine called and was saying that a friend of, someone was, murdered in Dallas Castle. And I said, well, Dallas Castle is not Augustown. And 2 days later, the person sent me a letter, a note saying that, they're very upset about the fact that I pointed out that Dallas Castle wasn't Augustown because, me and my people murdered a friend of hers, I was like, all the years I thought that me and that person were, we were each other's people, only to find out now that just a little brethren from Augustown and we all one. You know what I mean? But if we all one, the majority rules and the majority are working class people. So it's still mainly that we have our problems, but guns make a lot of noise, so does empty barrels.
True. And you said it's up to each and every one of us to make an improvement and to make a change. I'm glad you're pointing that out with your music. Let's speak about Exile To Dreadites a little bit more. You have one featured guest on it, amazing vocalist, Sherita Lewis. A lot of people might now think, who is Sherita Lewis? You have all heard Sherita probably a million times because she sings amazing backing vocals for so many artists on so many records and also live. She was part of Gentleman's MTV Unplugged show, for instance. Why did you choose her to come on board of the project? And tell me a little bit about the song you did together.
The thing about it, whatever I'm doing, Sherita is always on board.
Right, as I said, millions.
We started out years ago, and we've done so much as writers that I thought it was time now because for years we've been begging her, said, please come on the record. No, she's always like on the border about her solo career. So now finally she has decided to step out there, and of course had to grab her before everybody else did, but we have been coming from a far away, man. She's been doing excellent writing for many years with projects that have been jockeying around, and I'm a fan of Sherita. I've always been a fan of Sherita, both as a writer and definitely as a vocalist. I wish that one day I could get up and could sing half as good as she can, to be truthful, you know. But, you know, it was something that I was looking for many years. And, of course, we wrote the song together, went in studio together, and, of course, she, you know, she didn't sing on the song as background vocalist, but she arranged all the backgrounds on it, you know. So it was just amazing, man.
I'm glad to also have her in the spotlight this time.
Yeah, man,
and you said that she's a writer, you're also a writer. It's been 5 years since you put out your last album, but for those who think you might not have done works, you've been working all the time, because even apart from your own music, you write songs for others, and you've also been touring a lot, right?
Yes, I have been getting around, definitely. You know, I'm grateful to always have something to do, man. So more recently, I've been going a lot of places in Central and South America, which is, you know, a little bit off the beaten path right now for many Jamaicans. But luckily, I've been fortunate to be going to places like that, and I've, you know, made one or two trips into African territories, which is, you know, always my heart desire. You know what I mean? Aside from that, of course, you know, I did a lot of writing on the last album for Alborosie. You know, I managed to finally get a track done with Berry's Hammond and Alborosie. So kind of, you know, strike that one off my list of the bucket list. You know, I've always wanted to do that, and finally I got an opportunity to. So I keep myself busy, man. You know, I keep myself out of trouble.
So you will always hear from Duane Stephenson, even if you don't know at first listen that it's him. It would be his writing. You said Africa. That is also where you're heading to soon, right? When will you be going, and where will you be going?
Well, in March I have 2 dates in Ghana. You know, for many years I've been really looking forward to going there because, of course, you know, because of the history that we share as country, Ghana, Jamaica. Well, truly the Ghana and the Caribbean are pan-Caribbean, but definitely with Jamaicans, you know. So, you know, I'd love to go and see the place. And the truth is, you know, most of us come from that region, you know, here in Jamaica. So who knows, I might go down and book up on a cousin who will have vibe and energy, you know what I mean? So, you know, definitely looking forward to that, you know. So, Ghana, Africans, look out. Duane Stephenson from Augustown shall be there. Yes, I
wish you a wonderful journey and a wonderful experience there. But also the European Massive should be lucky to see you again this year, right? What's planned?
Well, the plan is in early May, I'll be doing a 2-week stint there, but that's definitely to promote the album, you know what I mean? So, you know, come out to the shows, man. You know, they'll be reasonably priced because we want you to come out, share the music, get a renewed vibe of what I'm trying to put forward, you know, these positive energies, you know what I mean? So come out and support, you know, it will definitely be worth it. And I'll be traveling with a bridging called Jalil, you know what I mean, which is another young upcoming, he's a great writer. He does a lot of great background work, so we might not even know that. And of course, he's definitely emerging as an artist to look out for, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's another great energy. And of course, I'll be there again in the summer for a few festivals, but, you know, I really prefer the vibe with the smaller shows, so I can really tune in and see the people and talk to the people and feel the energy and, you know, give back that love that I've been getting all these years.
So don't miss out on the Duane Stephenson and also Jalil experience when they come into Europe. Of course, you will find all the dates on Reggaeville. We keep you updated. Speaking of live shows that are coming up, of course, Buju Banton's Long Walk to Freedom tour is about to start on March 16th in the National Stadium in Kingston. We will be there, we'll cover it, so you can look out for videos and pictures, of course, from the event. And then in April, we have the Reggaeville Easter Special coming up one more time. Throughout Germany and also in the Netherlands. Of course, that's going to take place on the Easter weekend. And the lineup's going to be Marcus Gad, Christopher Martin, and also Alborosie.
Greetings, my name is Alborosie. Go and go Google me, predicts. Them try nail me walk off them crucifix. My best a millimeter, got dreadlocks by the meters. Inches behind zipper only for the pretty amigas. From John Rock we send waves like a station. You coulda the Africa, you coulda the Croatia. You coulda black, you coulda pale, you coulda need a facial.
Reggaeville family. That was Alborosie, who's going to be part of the Reggaeville Easter Special on the Easter weekend throughout Germany and the Netherlands. Look out for the dates, of course. And Duane Stephenson, who is also about to embark on a tour to Africa and also to Europe later this year, is still with me. Exile To Dreadites is the album coming up. I said it already on March 27th, yes, right? Are you excited yet?
Most definitely. You know, whenever I'm pushing out new music, I'm always excited that, you know, people are finally getting to hear all this hard work that I've been putting in. Because this album was ready since last year, you know, and I didn't like it. I wasn't excited about it, so of course I pull it back and then I brought on Lamont Savory Monty on it, because I already had stuff from Dean on it, a few stuff, and of course Lamar Brown, aka Riff Raff. Now with Lamont, I think that was what I needed. Monty, we just created, because I mean I've known Monty since school days, you know. We're coming from practically the same place, you know, so the energy has always been there. But you know, now we went in studio, we redone a lot of stuff, we brought in new material, and I think now is where I want it to be. So I'm excited about it, and because of that, I'm excited for people to hear it. You know what I mean? So big up yourself, producers, Lamont Savory, aka Monty. Riff Raff, big up yourself. You know, you've been cussing, saying that we're taking too long to put out the stuff, but time, Rasta.
Yeah, man, big up all the musicians, engineers, everybody who's been part of this wonderful album. Definitely, please look out for it. I got a listen already, and I really, really loved it. Could be, I mean, it's early in the year, could still be one of my favorites for the year, definitely. It's really kind of a classic. It has a real wonderful vibe, and of course, a really inspiring, positive message. So please give it a listen. Look out for it, March 27th, Exile To Dreadites. Yes. Duane, all the best for the album coming up, for the tour, and thank you very much for being a part of Wha Gwaan Munchy.
The pleasure is all mine, man. You know, a long time there. I go and tune in to Wha Gwaan.
Wha Gwaan Munchy.